So let me repeat it. So 8255 is PPI, okay, Programmable Peripheral Interface, which is used for parallel data transfer. And 8251 is USART. USART is Universal Synchronous Receiver Transmitter, which is used for serial transmission. Then we studied about 8253. It is a timer, programmable timer. Then 8279, it's a keyboard and display interface. Then 8259, DMA controller. And then the interrupt controller, 8257. And A by D by A in converters, and also some case studies, okay, in the third unit. In the fourth unit, we are going to see about microcontroller. So totally microprocessor is different from a microcontroller. So here the syllabus is, first we will be studying the architecture of 8051. We have various microcontrollers. So microcontrollers are nothing but the embedded systems. Now we are calling that microcontrollers as embedded systems, okay? Then the second topic will be about the special function registers. And then we have IO pin ports and circuits. Then we'll be studying the instruction set. The function of the instructions, every instruction will be same as 8086, but the format and the syntax will be different, okay? And then the addressing modes as we studied in 8087. If you study the 8086 content very well, so the fourth unit and fifth unit will be very easy for you to write the content, okay? So this is, let's see what is microcontroller. You know, the micro means it's a very small, and controller is a mechanism that controls the operation of a machine. Okay. Actually, microcontroller means it is a device which is used to perform a particular function repeatedly. Okay, a particular function repeatedly. You got it. For example, if you are having a fridge, it's a device, no machine. So what is the mechanism in that fridge is, so when this temperature reaches a particular level, it automatically it will switch off, and we can set the temperature also like that. Some programming is available here. So there will be a program which is used to control the device. Okay, there is a fridge. There will be a program. So if you take what is it, washing machine, there will be a program. So after every devices will be having a program. So the device of one, for example, if we have a fridge program means that can be executed in that device only. And if we have a remote controller, so a program for that remote control only be executed. The program of fridge cannot be executed in the remote. Okay. So that is microcontroller. A microcontroller which is used to perform a particular function repeatedly. So suppose if you switch on the so microcontroller is a device which is used to perform a particular function repeatedly. Okay. So let's see here. This is the microprocessor diagram. What is the chip you studied in unit 1, 2? Can you tell me the chip number, please? Put in the chat box. What is the microprocessor we studied? Is Nishant there, Nishant? Nishant, are you there? Okay, so we studied about the microprocessor 8086. See here, the microprocessor will be having a separate CPU, and we have the system bus. No, system bus consists of data bus, address bus, and the control signals. So data bus is used to carry the information, and address bus is to carry the address, and control bus is used to carry the signals, whether it can be read or write. So in the microprocessor, we have RAM as a separate chip, IC chip, and then ROM, okay, read only memory as a separate chip. And here we have this IO pin ports. IO ports. This is nothing but 8255. Programmable peripheral is 8253. And here the serial COM port, which is nothing but 8251. That's a USART, which is used for serial transmission. And additionally, we have all the pins, 8279, the keyboard and display, everything will be added to that. So all the there is the IO ports, timer, serial port, interrupt controller, DMA controller, everything will be available as a separate chip. Okay, CPU is a main chip, and here this will be available as a separate chips. So this is a simple diagram of a microprocessor. But when we come into microcontroller, then we have the ROM, RAM, then IO port. Okay. So in this single chip, all this functions will be available. So RAM is actually in microcontroller, we have two types of memory, program memory and data memory. So the data will be stored in RAM. For example, if you're taking a fridge means the temperature that is read will be stored in this RAM, okay, data memory, and the program will be stored in ROM. So it is erasable, so that will be available here. So if that application needs IO port means, that is parallel data transfer means, we can go for this IO port. If it is not needed means, don't want to use it. And here timer also. Timer, we have two timers here. So if you want the timer for that application, we can use it. And here for serial transmission, we have the serial COM port. Okay. So the microcontroller is a single chip. It has its own RAM, ROM, IO port, timer, and serial COM port. So depending upon the applications, we can use all this. Okay. If it's a serial data transfer is needed, means we can use this. Right. So this is here. This is a microcontroller. It's a one chip, a microcontroller, which consists of all the functions inside a single chip. Okay. So here, when you go for a microprocessor, there is CPU is a separate chip, and clock generator is a separate chip. USART. What is USART? USART. Then we have, am I audible? Kalyan Kumar?
Yes, ma'am, it's audible, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Then we have the memory, then we have the IO interfaces, then the timer and counter, and the other peripherals. Okay. So hope by seeing this diagram, you can differentiate what is microcontroller and microprocessor. Okay. So microcontroller is a device which is used to perform a particular function repeatedly. Don't forget that. Particular function repeatedly. Okay. So this is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. So microprocessor contains the ALU, general purpose registers. Then we have the stack pointer, which refers the top of the stack. Then we have the program counter, which contains the instruction of the instruction to be executed next. Address of the instruction So in microcontrollers, timers, and counters. Okay. So here we have microcontroller bit handling instructions are available here. Okay. Mostly bit by bit also we can refer every data. So here there is only 1 or 2 bit. That is complement. Here in microprocessor we have complement the carry bits, clear the carry bit. Only 2 instructions. Okay. And here left side hardware is required. Okay, so this is the difference between microprocessor and microcontroller. So contains this ALU general purpose registers. In addition to all this, here the microcontroller contains inbuilt ROM, RAM, I/O devices, timers, and counters between memory and CPU. And here we have only two bit handling instruction. The access memory and I/O devices are available as a separate chip. So accessing the data is very more. And here less access time in microcontroller. And here microprocessor based system requires more hardware, and we need here less hardware. Okay. So these are the applications of microcontrollers. Whatever there is, wherever in our house, in every electronic devices, a microcontroller is available. Okay. So in home, we have appliances like intercom, telephones. We have now this micro all the home appliances, AV devices, then in networking, everywhere microcontroller devices available. Okay. In our syllabus, we are going to study about 8051 microcontroller. It was Kalyan Kumar, did you see that application diagram? No.
No, ma'am.
What is it image in the screen? Microcontroller.
Ma'am, the microcontroller, ma'am, on chip and different chip diagram is available.
Oh. Okay. So there is some delay. Okay. Microcontroller applications. Okay. So it is used in home, in office, in automobiles also. So wherever we have the electronic devices, microcontrollers will be available. Okay. So these are the applications, diagrams which I have posted here, which is used in a printer, then all the home appliances. Okay. And then here we have the washing machine, and in trains, and in the there is cameras, monitor, laptops. Wherever we have the electronic devices, microcontrollers will be available. So microcontroller is a device which is used to perform a particular function repeatedly. Right? So in our syllabus, we are going to study about the 8051 microcontroller. It was introduced by Intel in the year 1981. It's an 8-bit microcontroller. We have 16-bit microcontroller also. But in our syllabus, we are going to study about the 8-bit microcontroller. Here the data line is 8. Okay, the data bus is 8-bit. The address bus is 16-bit. Okay, so the memory capacity of this microcontroller will be 2 power 16. So in addition to this, as I said, it will be having the inbuilt ROM. The capacity is 4K bytes internal ROM, and then 128 bytes internal RAM, which is used to store the data, and ROM is used to store the program. Okay, and here we have 4 I/O ports for parallel data transfer, and we have 2 timers and 1 serial interface. These are the inbuilt for devices we have in this 8051. 4K bytes of internal ROM, which is used to store the program, and 128 bytes of internal RAM, which is used to store the data, and 4 8-bit ports, and 2 16-bit ports, and 1 serial interface are available in 8051. Okay. So actually 8051 is a subset of 8052. So initially this design, the first microcontroller is 8031, in which there is ROM is not available. Okay. This is 8031. So the ROM is and 32 IO pins as same as 8051, and we have one serial okay. So 8051 is all the registers available in 8051. This is the general block diagram of 805. So the general block diagram, it consists here, have an 8-bit CPU. So we have an 8-bit CPU here, and then we have the interrupt, which is used to control the interrupts, and here 4K of ROM, which is used to store the program. Okay, and then we have 128 bytes of RAM, which is used to store the data, and we have 2 ports, which is used for serial transmission, and we have 4 I/O ports, and we have a bus control unit, which is used to control all the ports, and we have an oscillator, which is used to generate the clock signal. Okay. This is the general block diagram of 8051. We have the CPU, then we have the interrupt control unit here, and we have a ROM, which is used to store the program, and a RAM is used to store the data, and we have 2 timers, timer 0 and timer 1. For example, if that in that application, if only it needs one timer, means timer 0 will be used. We can go for only one timer. Other timer will not be used. And if there is any serial transmission is required for that application, means we can use it. Otherwise, it will not be used. Okay. And we have 4 I/O ports, which is used for parallel data transfer. And here the oscillator, which is used to produce the clock signals. And here we have this. From this, we can read the data. And from RAM, read we can read and write the data RAM. Okay, so it is bidirectional, and this timer bidirectional and serial port also, and here 4 IO ports. So this is a general block diagram. Okay, for every microcontroller. So this is the. So let's see the pin diagram of 8051. So it is a 40 pin. It's a 40 pin. So here, as I said, there are 4 ports. See here, P10 to P17 port. Okay, port 1, 7. Okay, 8 bits. Then here we have port 1.0 to 1.7, another 8 bits, port 1. And here we have port 2. Okay, 2.0 to 2.7. And 2 functions. One is for parallel data transfer, and also it represents AD0 to AD7. What is AD0 to AD7? AD0 to AD7 is 0 to 7. 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 AD7 is 0 AD0 to AD7 is AD7. See, students, now today you are going to write the quiz also, no? In the second unit, we'll be having the questions on this also. Hmm? A7. So we have the address bus A0 to A7 and the data bus D0 to D7. So port 0 is used to perform two functions. One is parallel data transfer. Another one is it is used to represent the address data bus from 0 for only data transfer, no other function. Okay. So port 1 is used for only data transfer. So when coming to this port 2, it's used for two functions. So one is for data transfer and also it represents the address bus A8 to A15. Okay. So port 2 is used to represent two functions. One is for parallel data transfer and another one it is used to represent A8 to A15. And coming to this P3 to P3.7, that is port 3, it is used to represent data transfer and also it represents some signals. Okay, RxD. What is RxD? It was studied in 8251. What is RxD? Student, then I can stop with this. If you're not answering, I think there's no need of taking the classes for you. You can study of your own. You know? What is RxD? So RxD is receive data. Okay, serial. It is used for serial transmission. So RxD is receive data. So TXD is transmit data. INT0 is interrupt 0. INT1 is interrupt 1. T0 and T1 is timers. Okay, so we have two timers, timer 0 and timer 1. So these are the inputs for timer 0 and timer 1. And then we have the read signal, WR is read signal. And here we have the write signal. Okay, so port 3 is used to perform two functions. So one is data transfer, another is used to represent some signals. So RxD is receive data, TXD is transmit data, which is used for serial transmission, and INT0 and INT1 is interrupt 0 and interrupt 1. We have two interrupts. Okay, and here T0 and T1 is timer input, two timers, so T0 and T1. And here we have the read and write signal. Okay, we have four ports. So port 0 is used for data transfer and also it represents AD0 to AD7. And then port 1 is used for only data transfer and port 2 is used for data transfer and also it is used to represent AA to A15. Okay. And port 3 is used for data transfer and also it represents some signals which is used for serial transmission, then interrupts, timer and read and write signal. Okay. Then let's go to this ninth pin is RST is the reset pin. Okay. Then we have 18 and 19 is this is a crystal oscillator will be connected to this. Through this only the clock pulse will be given to this microcontroller. Okay. And from the bottom we have PSEN that is program strobe enable. That is program strobe enable signal. Okay, which is used to access the program memory. And what is the ALE? I was studied in 8086. Often I was repeating it. What is ALE? What is the use of ALE signal? ALE. Bharnishri. What is ALE? Bharnishri. Dinesh Kumar. Can you hear me, Dinesh Kumar? What is ALE, Dinesh Kumar? What is ALE? Dinesh Kumar, do you know the answer? Are you there? If you don't know, means just you type no in the chat. For the address, enable that. The L is at the end. ALE. Okay. Swati, thank you for your answer. So ALE is address latch enable signal, which is used to multiplex this AD0 to AD7. Okay. So when ALE is equal to 1 means the content of AD0 to AD7 will be address. And when it is 0, the content of AD0 to AD7 will be data. Okay. So the 30th pin is used to perform two functions. It is ALE. If it is 1 means it performs ALE function. And next here we have the programming. This is used for EEPROM programming. Okay, when it is 0, it performs this. And 31st pin we have external access, EA, external access, that is which is used to access the external memory. And VP program calls for EEPROM programming. Okay, EEPROM programming. So 31st pin is used to perform two functions. Then we have ports. Okay, port 0, which is used to perform data transfer and also used to represent. Port 3 is you have the 9th pin as RS data to provide the frequency, multiplex AD, external access, and VPP. Okay, VPP is program pulse for EEPROM program. So this is the architecture of 8051. Let's see the architecture of 8051 microcontroller. See here, we have 4 ports now. So see here, port 0 at the top. Okay, then we have port 1, and then we have port 2 and port 3. Okay, 4 ports. Every ports of how many bits? 8 bits. See here, P0.02, P0.7, and port 2 bottom we have port 1, which is of 8 bits, and another port 3 is of another 8 bits. Okay, so these are the 4 ports available. And as I said earlier, we have 2 types of memory: data memory and program memory. Okay. So data memory is used to store the data. For example, if you are having a fridge means we have to read the temperature now. So that will be stored in the data memory. Okay. So the program will be stored in the ROM. So see here at the top, we have a RAM which is used to store the address must be referred. So we have a RAM address register. Okay. So this RAM address register will contain the address at which we are reading the data. And here we have this program address register. The ROM here only will be storing the program. So why we are having an EEPROM means the program we are having an EEPROM memory. So the program we have 2 parts, okay, hardware and software. I will be studying in software engineering subject. So first one part will be the hardware design. It will be going on in process. And another part will be the software. Okay. So at the end of the implement, that is at the end, we'll be having a hardware separately and the software separately. Then, so the software program will be embedded into this hardware device, and we have to check whether it is running properly, and we have to debug it, and finally we'll get the final product as fridge. Hope you understood. So all the devices, electronic devices, will be done in the same way only. And we will get the final product. Right. And here we have the stack pointer, which is used to represent the top of the stack. Okay. So on the right side, we have a buffer, which is used to store the data. And we have a PC incrementer. So below that, we have a program counter. Program counter is useful to execute the instructions in a sequence manner. Okay, it contains the address of the instruction to be, yes, address of the instruction to be executed next. And here to every time when we perform an execution, so the program counter must be incremented. So we have a program counter incremented here. Okay. And here we have a DPTR register that is not available in the processor, microprocessor. So DPTR is data pointer register, which is used to access the external memory. Okay. That is here in microcontroller. The memory can be referred by 16-bit address and also 8-bit address. Okay. So in order to access the 16-bit memory, that is external address. So DPTR register is used. Data pointer register. It is a 16-bit register. Then we have this B register, accumulator, which is all the functions will be performed in this accumulator. And another one important register we have is B register. So suppose if we perform multiplication, the condition is, so one data must be in accumulator, another data must be in B register. It's a condition. And like this, when we perform the division operation, so one data must be, we have two data to perform the division. No? So one data must be in accumulator and another data will be in B register. And after division also, the data will be obtained. There is a quotient will be obtained from accumulator and the obtained from the B register. Okay. So here in 86, we have a number of registers, no, AH, AX, BX, CX. So like this, the registers, general purpose registers used for programming is accumulator, B register, and we have a set of R0 to R7. Okay, so these are the general purpose programming registers available in microcontroller. We'll be seeing it later. Yeah, Balrama, anyone want to? Okay. So we have this ALU, which is used to perform mathematical and logic unit, and we have two temporary registers to store the data. Control unit. All this will be controlled by the special function registers. So this is the architecture of 8051. So these are the registers available for programming. As I said earlier, here we have the programmable registers we have is accumulator, okay, then the B register and set of registers from R0 to R7. Okay, set of registers from R0 to R7. So this registers R0 to R7 will be available in the memory bank. This R0 to R7 will be available in memory bank. We'll be seeing it later. And as I said, DPTR, no? DPTR is data pointer register. It is a 16-bit register. So we are saying it as DPH is 8-bit and DPL is another 8-bit register. Okay. And then PC is a program counter. Okay, so these are the registers, programmable registers, which in our program we can use all these registers. It is accumulator, B register, then we have R0, R1 up to R7, and we have the DPTR register, DPHN, DPL, and the program counter. Okay. Now let's see what is the use of this DPTR register. As I said earlier, so DPTR register is used to access the external memory. So in microprocessor, I hope you remember this. We have an instruction move within square bracket 4000 comma AH. So I think I can answer this way. Okay. So here, what does it means? The content of AH is transferred to this memory location. Okay. This AH, which is an 8-bit data, is transferred to this memory location. So in a memory location, we can store 8 bits. In a memory location, we can store 8 bits. So how this instruction is replaced in a microcontroller, PTR register. Since here we have an immediate data, we are putting here hash 4000. Okay, move DPTR hash 4000 means the date X at DPTR, DPTR register, that is the memory location pointed by DPTR. So whenever we have this at symbol, refers data in that memory location. In 86 processor, we have the square bracket. So whenever we have the square bracket, it refers at that memory location. And here in microcontroller, whenever we have this at symbol, means at memory location, at this memory location. Hope you got it. Okay, there is the content of accumulator is transfer. Okay, so X refers external memory. Move X means external memory. I think you understood this. Okay, difference. So here in 86 we have square bracket means data in that address, and here at symbol we are using. So data in that address, at symbol here. So this is the structure of the program status word. So here this carry bit, C refers a carry bit. So when we perform two addition of two 8-bit datas, so 8-bit data added with another 8-bit data, we can get the carry as a 9th bit. So that if there is carry means this bit will be set to 1. So next one is auxiliary carry, which is used for BCD operation. So BCD operation is if the number is greater than 9, we have to add 6 to that. So F0 is a user-defined flag. We can use it. And here we have RS1. And actually here we have 4 banks. Bank 0, Bank 1, Bank 2, and Bank 3. So each bank will be consisting of 8 registers. That is R0 to R7. Each bank will be consisting of 8 registers. Okay. So to select this bank, 4 banks, we are using this RS1 and RS0. So if it is 0, 0, bank 0 will be selected. And if it is 0, 1, bank 1 will be selected. And 1, 0 means bank 2. And later 1, sorry, it is 1, 1. Bank 3 will be selected. In the program, we are using 8 registers means. So okay, we can use select is bank 0 and R0 to R7 registers will be used as R0 to R7. Suppose if we want to go for, suppose I want to use bank 1 means we have to set here 0. So bank 1 will be selected. So registers in that bank, so overflow flag bit will be set. And F1 is the user flag bit. Okay, so here we have a user flag F0 and here also we have F1. So it carries. Okay, so we have two parities in this word. Okay, carry bit, auxiliary carry. When we go for BCD operation, this will be set. And we have RS1 and RS0. This is used for register bank selection. 8051 is a microcontroller, 8-bit microcontroller, which is used to perform the particular function. A microcontroller nowadays it is called as embedded systems. Okay, so you can go through the materials. I have posted students. Actually, it is time. Today we are having. So I hope all the students will be joining by 1:10. See, students, we have Kalyan Kumar. You can stop recording.